Good afternoon, Bhante. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. It's 12:30 p.m. now. As usual, we will be grateful if everyone can keep yourself muted for the time being. And then should you have any questions, you can have them asked at the end of the session, because there will be a section for this question and answer. So welcome again, and thank you for your support to the Vassāvāsa Cultivation 2021 organized by Ti-Sarana Buddhist Association. So as usual, what we do is we will do the homage to the Buddha, followed by Panchasila, the 5 precepts, and then we will have a short introduction of the Dhamma speaker, that is the Venerable Dr. R. Chandawimala Mahāthera. And before then, we will start with the session proper. So for now, we will like to request Bhante Chandawimala to lead us on the homage to the Buddha and the Panchasila, the Ti-Sarana and then the Panchasila. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, dear friends in the Dhamma, before we start the Dhamma talk, as a traditional practice, we are going to observe 5 precepts. So please recite Namo Tassa 3 times.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dhammang saranang gacchāmi.
Sanghang saranam gacchāmi.
Sanghang saranang gacchāmi.
Yampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi.
Yampi dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchāmi.
Yampi sanghang saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi.
Yampi dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchāmi.
Yampi sanghang saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchāmi.
Pāṇātipātā veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi. Adinādāna veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi.
Adinādāna veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi.
Amesu micchācara veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi.
Kāmesu Chāchāra Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi.
Pavada Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyāmi.
Musāvāda Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi.
Ameraya Majjapama Dattana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyāmi.
Sura Viraya Majjapamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
Chandawimala Mahāthera had received his higher ordination in 1989, and he graduated with an honors degree in Buddhist study in 1994 and a Masters of Arts in 1997 from the University of Kelaniya in Sri Lanka. As a trained teacher, he was awarded a postgraduate diploma in education from the University of Colombo. He also received MA and PhD in Buddhist studies from the University of Hong Kong in 2003 and 2008 respectively. Venerable Chandawimala is currently serving as an associate professor at the Buddhist College of Singapore at Kong Ming San Pokasi Monastery. He has an acute interest that covers early Buddhism, Buddhist philosophy, and history of Buddhism. So from 25th July until the 17th of October inclusive, Venerable Dr. R. Chandawimala Mahāthera will be giving us a very insightful Dhamma talk on right understanding on the Buddha's teaching. In today's Dhamma talk, Bhante will share with us Saddhā Sutta, or you can call it the conviction of fifth sutta. This is one of the sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya, the book of 538. Bhante, you may begin the Dhamma talk now. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. Thank you very much, Brother Chintaka, for your introduction. So, dear friends in the Dhamma, now we are going to start our Dhamma talk. So, before that, some technical things to do. So, again, I should share the screen, right? What should I do now? Again, to share the screen, because I don't see it there. All right. Can you see?
Yes, can see now.
Okay. So, welcome again, dear Dhamma friends. So, I'm very happy to be here today also to share some Dhamma knowledge with you. Today is our actually the second day and also the second Dhamma talk in this series of Dhamma talk during this training retreat period. So, I welcome you all. All right. As Brother Chintaka explained to you in the introduction, actually today I'm going to talk about the Saddhā Sutta. Saddhā Sutta found in the Anguttara Nikaya. Actually, it's a very small sutta compared to the sutta that we discussed last week, the Seka Sutta. This sutta is a very short one, but the lesson that we learn from this sutta is very, very important as Buddhist followers, because it talks about the practice of sattā and also qualities of the person who practice saddha, especially what kind of benefits that he received because of this faithful practice of saddha, right? So before we go to the sutta, I will give you a short introduction about the term Saddha and also its equivalent Sanskrit term Shraddha, right? Saddha is the Pali term and Shraddha is the Sanskrit term. So actually, even though we have this special concept in Buddhism, in every Buddhist tradition, of course, this saddha or shraddha is very important practice. However, this term, Pali term, actually is not the original term which started in the Indian religions or in the Indian religious background. The first term to appear was this Sanskrit term, Shraddha, before the Pali term. So why I'm telling that, you know, the Vedic religion and also Jain religion, or we call it Jainism, and also in a very later time, another religion started in India, which is called Sikhism. That one is very much later compared to Vedic tradition than the Jainism and Hinduism, Buddhism, and this Sikhism came in the late time. However, in Sikhism also we find this term Shraddha. So here I have used this special term Vedic religion. Actually, Vedic religion nowadays we simply call Hinduism, right? In Singapore also we have Hinduism, the people who practice Hindu religion. So Vedic religion nowadays in the modern day we call it Hinduism or Hindu religion. But in the very beginning, in the past, compared with the Vedic teaching, we call it Vedic religion. Jainism, you already know, actually it's a contemporary religion to Buddhism as well. There was one religious master whose name was called Jaina Mahavira. He is the one who introduced this religion in India during the time of the Buddha. But however, they also accepted previous Jain masters. Like in Buddhism, we have, many Buddhas before the Shakyamuni Buddha. In the same way, in Jain tradition also, they also have former religious or masters or the ancient founders of Jainism who are called Tirthankaras. So what I want to tell you that this very word Saddha, actually it's not a Buddhistic origin, and it is non-Buddhistic origin, and it can be found in the other religions in India prior to Buddhism and also contemporary to Buddhism, and also in the later religion in India, something like Sikhism. All right, now we'll go to the second slide. I remember last week when I gave the Dhamma talk, certain people, took some notes and all that. So today I hope that you don't need to worry about, all these terms and things. Today I'm sharing this, and so if you want to take down anything, so you can do it, or After the talk, I can send you this PPT to Brother Chintaka, Sister Kanchana, and they can share this, PowerPoint presentation with you. So now we will see again Saddha and Sraddha. This is there is another term which is called Sraddha. Now you can compare the first Sanskrit term Sraddha, and then the second one is Sraddha. But this second one, Sraddha, sometimes because for instance, we as academicians or those who study, Buddhism, and we use the accepted diacritical marks to write these terms, especially with correct pronunciation. And that is why these diacritical marks appear in my presentation. But when the common people, especially type these terms in the online or whatever, they don't use the, diacritical marks. Sometimes, if you, try to find this term Shraddha online, and then you find this Saddha and Sraddha both together, but without any differentiation. Right? Now you look at my word Sraddha, S with a stroke and R-A-T-T-H long A. Right? This is the Buddhist or the Hindu word related to the, we call faith, especially, and then confidence, conviction, or whatever. We will explain about these terms later. And then when you compare with this Sraddha with the first word Saddha, some differences you can be seen. What is that? Especially the two differences, right? The first A there in the word Shraddha, it is long A, but in Shraddha, it is not long A. But the second A or the last A of the second word with not long A, it's just a short A. So we pronounce it as Sraddha, Sraddha. But the first word we pronounce as Sraddha. Understand? So if you want to learn something or whatever, sometime, the internet sources will be misguided you without certain, these diacritical marks. You have to be aware of these terms whenever you learn about those things. So this term Shraddha, for instance, from this time on, I will say Buddhist word Shraddha. Understand? So this Buddhist term Shraddha should not be confused with Sraddha, which is a ritualistic practice performed in Hinduism in memory of departed relatives, especially parents, and especially it's a kind of, the practice of somewhat similar to, Qingming in the Chinese tradition, Qingming or Qingming festival, right? It is somewhat similar to Qingming festival. This term Sraddha connected with, right? The Sraddha is connected with a kind of ritualistic practice, especially performed in memory of late departed relatives, or we call ancestors, especially one's parents and so on. So please don't confuse this term Shraddha with Sraddha. If you really, search online for this term and so on, right? Now, we will go to the next slide. So, Saddha, Sraddha and bhakti. Now we are going to study about another term. The last term is bhakti, right? So now we already know first term Pali word saddha, and then the second word shraddha, Sanskrit. And there is another Sanskrit term somewhat similar to shraddha, it is called bhakti, but this term especially found in the theistic religions, especially in the Brahmanism and Hinduism. Nowadays we call it Hinduism. So Vedic religion, Brahmanism or Hinduism, these three terms are used only for one religion, which is called Hinduism. So the Pali Buddhist term Saddha or its Sanskrit equivalent Shraddha means confidence or conviction, especially in the triple gem. It means having confidence or trust in the triple gem rather than having mere faith in them. You must remember that actually this term Saddha or Shraddha, it is actually having confidence in the triple gem. Confidence in the Buddha, confidence in the Dhamma, confidence in the Sangha, rather than having just mere faith. Because this word Saddha, most of the time is translated into English as faith. So whenever we use the term faith, it is somewhat similar to the faith in the theistic religions, right? Basically, in the theistic religions, the followers believe in the God without having any investigation. Whatever they have in their scriptures, religious scriptures, they have to accept without making any question. Without questioning, you have to accept it, because these words are called divine revelation. Divine revelations, or the words of the gods. So because of that, you have to believe in gods and also the words of the gods, right? But in Buddhism, it is different. We do not have mere faith. We have confidence in the Buddha after investigating the teachings of the Buddha. So before we talk about these two terms, Saddha and Shraddha again, we will go to this new term now. What is that term? Bhakti. However, Shraddha and Bhakti in theistic religions, such as Hinduism, is faith in the God. Understand? Now you must remember this term Shraddha, as I explained to you, found in the Buddhism and also other theistic religions. But in the theistic religions like Hinduism, this term Shraddha basically explained as the faith in the God. And the similar term is Bhakti. Bhakti is also the term used in the theistic religions, but not really in the Buddhist scriptures. However, whenever we talk about the Sri Lankan Buddhism, in our own language, in the Sinhalese language, we use this word bhakti, somewhat similar to faith. Especially in Sri Lanka, we have certain songs. Now you also have Buddhist songs at Ti-Sarana, right? In the same way, in Sri Lanka also we have Buddhist songs. Especially these songs explain qualities of the Buddha and Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. We call those songs Bhakti Gita. Gita means the songs. Bhakti Gita. That means devotional songs. Devotional songs. Understand? But however, whenever we talk about the term Saddha or this practice of Saddha, we don't use this term Bhakti as a similar word to Saddha. Do you understand that? Right? All right. Now we will go to the next slide. And in this slide, I'm going to explain about two types of sattā found in the Buddhist teachings. The Buddha has explained that actually there are two types of faith, I will use the word confidence, so saddha, right? If I use the word faith, don't worry about this. Faith here means saddha, right? So, these two types of saddha are called amulika saddha and akaravati saddha, right? Amulika saddha means actually baseless faith. Baseless faith, or we call it blind faith. Remember last week when I explained the term Saddha in the Saddhā Sutta? Yeah, Buddha, taught that the followers should have faith in the Buddha, right, or confidence in the Buddha. So at that time I explained what is the true faith, or we can call it rational faith, and also what is blind faith or baseless faith. So Buddha has explained about two types of faith. Now I use the term faith, easy for you. So amulika saddha and akaravati saddha. So let me read the slide. There are two types of saddha found in Pali scriptures, namely amulika saddha and akaravati saddha, which mean blind faith. Amulika saddha in the blue color, you may see blind faith or baseless faith, baseless faith. And then akaravati saddha means rational faith or the true faith, rational faith. Actually, yeah, after investigation, you follow the Buddha and then you increase faith in the Buddha. So we call it rational faith, rational faith. Understand? All right, now you know what are the two types of saddha. Now we'll go to the next slide. So now I will explain again what is saddha. What is saddha in the Buddhist practice? Understand? Saddha means confidence in the triple gift. Now everyone knows about it since we discussed about it earlier. It's an indispensable preliminary factor, that means basic factor or a basic requirement on the Buddhist path to liberation, or the path leading to nirvana. Understand? Yeah. So this is very important thing. Actually, saddha is very important because it is an indispensable preliminary factor, very important basic factor. You cannot be away from that. It is indispensable. It is very important. It is very necessary, essential. Actually, it is an essential factor for all the Buddhists to have it, right? And so it is very important on the path to liberation or path leading to nirvana, right? So now you must understand that each and every Buddhist should generate and develop saddha.
It's 1 o'clock.
Right. Now we will see the commentarial definitions on saddha. Commentarial definitions on saddha. Right? In the Pali commentaries, I don't have mentioned the names of the Pali commentaries, but generally I'm telling you this. In the Pali commentaries, actually, there are various definitions on Saddha. So we will see the first one that I have mentioned here. The commentators define Saddha as follows in this way. The characteristic of serenity of mind is Saddha. Yeah. So within us, we have the serenity of mind. So this is called Saddha. In Pali, we read it like this. Sambasadhana Lakhana Saddha. So in your mind, if you have a serenity of mind, having confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, that is called Saddha. Right? And another definition is Saddhahati iti Saddha. Saddhahati iti Saddha means to place trust or confidence is called Saddha. To place trust or confidence in whom? In the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. It is called Saddha. So we must, place trust or belief in the Buddha and about the qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So that is called Saddha. Right? These are two, definitions found in the Pali commentaries. Now we'll go to the next one. Yes. Again, it's a Saddhati Dhamma Pala Saddhaya Ratanathaya Saddhaya. Now, another commentator explains like this. Saddha means to believe in karmic retribution and to believe in the virtues of the triple gem. Basically, first, you believe in the virtues of the triple gem or the qualities of the triple gem, and then you believe in the karmic retribution or kamma pala or kamma vipaka, right? Kamma means the action. Action means any good or bad action. Vipaka means the result. We call it kamma vipaka or kamma pala. The English term you can use the retribution of the karma or action, the result. So, not only believing in the triple gem, at the same time, you should believe the retribution of the karma or the action. Because this is very important. There are certain people in the world, they don't believe in the, result of any kind of good or bad action. And they think that, everything is without any result, good or bad result. And this result will not, work on in the next birth as well. Right? Whatever action that you do here actually is without result, no result. Right? But in Buddhism, also as a Buddhist, each and everyone believes in the karmic retribution, the result of the karma. Right? Now we are going to the Sutta Saddha. Saddha. Right? Alright, now I think that each and everyone have at least a little bit understanding about Saddha, Shraddha and Bhakti, and what is the difference between Buddhist Shraddha and Shraddha in the theistic religions. And the Pali term Saddha as well. Yeah, it is just only the language difference. Otherwise, there is no difference between Saddha and Shraddha in terms of Buddhist practice. But Shraddha in terms of theistic religious practice, there is difference. That means just only believing in the God. Alright, Saddha Sutta is a very small sutta as I explained to you earlier. Actually, here in this sutta, there is no background. Remember last week when we learned about the Seka Sutta, there was a background, right? about the Sakyans and then how they offered that council hall for the Buddha and the Mahasangha. But here in the Anguttara Nikaya, there are small suttas, many suttas. Actually, for these suttas, sometimes we don't find, for most of the suttas, we don't find the background of the sutta. Buddha just talked to the people or the monks in the same way that I am talking to you, and then explain certain facts, Dhamma, right? So one day, talking to the Sangha or the bhikkhus or the monks, Buddha mentioned like this. He mentioned that monks, there are 5 qualities experienced by a person who is having saddha, conviction, or faith, confidence in the triple gem. Right? Now think about you when I explain about this, special qualities that of course you are experiencing. Now you are Buddhist followers. Now you must experience these 5 qualities. Right? So, first quality, let us see the first quality. He gets compassion of monks first, then the person who has no sattā. Right? Monks here, if you refer to arhantas in the past, but nowadays, we talk about the sangha. We talk about the sangha, the monks, right? So, venerable monks, whenever they have compassion, and then actually their compassion first goes to the person or the people who have faith in the triple gem. Understand? Whenever monks have the compassion, they first actually treat the people who have saddha. This is very important. You must remember this. Whenever you have faith, whenever you become a faithful follower, whenever you are, loving in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and the monks also in return actually treat you as very important people, than the other ones. This is very important, right? So that is why Buddha said that actually those who have faith or confidence in the triple gem get the attention of monks first, then the other people. So the monks' compassion goes to them first. It doesn't mean that monks have no compassion to the others. Don't misunderstand. Yeah? But first, their compassion will go to the people who have faith. That is very important. And now we will see he gets attention of monks than the person who has no saddha. Right? So their attention also, the compassion, and then their attention also goes to the people or the person who has saddha or the people who have saddha. Understand? All right, now we'll go to the next one. His offerings are accepted by the monks first, then the offerings from the person who has no faith. Yeah, this is very important, right? So, when the monks understand, or arhantas understand that these people have more faith than the others, so they are very faithful. It doesn't mean that they are respecting monks and treating monks, not like that. The monks understand, because of their character, the behavior, and all this, with these true qualities, monks understand after associating them, so they know who they are. And then actually whenever dana is offered, or for instance, whenever Pindapata is offered, whenever the monks accept the, dana invitation, and they consider about the faithful followers first. There is one story also. I remember once King Kosala invited monks for a dana. Understand? But later on, a very faithful devotee, a poor one, but he was a very faithful one. He offered dana, he invited monks for a dana. Normally, actually, if we get an invitation from people, and we always consider the first invitation, even though the second invitation comes later from a king or whoever, the first invitation is important. And so we attend that invitation first, or we will tell the people we already have been invited, so today we cannot accept your invitation, something like that. But a group of monks actually went to the dana of that poor, the devotee who invited them later. But the king invited them first. Then this news went to the Buddha, because the king said that these monks didn't come to my invitation. And then the Buddha, examined what happened really. And then the Buddha came to know that actually these monks went to the dana of the poor devotee who had more faith in the triple gem. And then the Buddha explained that whenever people have more faith in the Sangha, right, in the triple gem, they will always attend those people. Understand? So actually this is a good lesson. So it means no matter whether you are very rich or whether you are, having a, higher status in the society or whatever, but if you do not have faith, and the monks will, accept the invitation of the other ones. Understand? So this is quite interesting thing. And anyway, don't worry if you have less faith. Yeah. And then the number 4, he gets the chance to listen to the Dhamma first than the person who has no faith. Whenever the monks decide to deliver the Dhamma, if a monk decide, okay, today I have to, go out to deliver the Dhamma, as my daily routine or whatever, and the monks think, who are the most faithful people? And then Buddha will, the monks will go to them and deliver the Dhamma. So this is quite interesting thing, and always they get first chance. Right. Now, this is the last one. He will have a good rebirth, like in the heaven or human world or whatever, but in the Sutta it's mentioned in the heaven, because heaven is considered as the most important, it is more important than the human world in terms of, having pleasure and also, having less suffering and all that. All right. So these are the 5 qualities experienced by the lay follower, right? Because of what reasons? Now we will see why. So the Buddha compared a faithful lay follower to a huge banyan tree. Understand? So how the Buddha said that he will be a person who is refuge for many monks, nuns, and male and female followers, like a huge, useful banyan tree which is located in a flat land nearby a crossroad, like this kind of crossroad, right? So this is very important. Now it is talking about you, right? As lay followers, if you have faith in the triple gem, actually you are compared to a very big, huge tree, right, which is located nearby, or sometimes it is mentioned on the crossroad, right? That means, if there is a huge banyan tree, there is a big shade. Lot of animals or people can go and stay under that. Understand? And lot of birds, they can come and eat the fruits of the banyan tree, and they can live there. They can make that banyan tree as their shelter or the nest or whatever, right? Because it is very huge and it has very big trunks and the roots and all that. Right? We will go to that part later. So in the same way, you will be a very important person. Actually, here the word we use, who is refuge for monks. That means he is taking care of monks. And he is treating monks. Not only monks, nuns, even male people or the female ones, or followers, or the common male and female, right? So in this way, this person who has faith actually is very important, and he is a refuge for monks and also nuns. Actually, that means he is a very helpful person, and then he is he attends the monks and he helps the monk, he treats the monk, and his character is very important. His practices, behavior is very important, for monks, nuns, and also for other people, male and female. Right. So here the Buddha mentioned like this, like a huge tree with a huge trunk and roots endowed with branches, foliage, and fruits, becomes the refuge of birds. That means it helps for many birds in various types, varieties, right? Those in need of the shade seek the shade, and those seeking fruits enjoy them, right? That is why, like Anathapindika and Lady Visakha, the Buddha's two main benefactors. The first, the male benefactor was Anathapindika. The benefactress, the female one, was Lady Visakha. And their palaces were already always actually open for monks and nuns. And they can go anywhere to those places. For instance, for collecting their lunch, alms in the daytime, or in the evening, if they need some drinks or whatever, medicinal drinks. So monks and nuns can go to those places, or for any other help. So their doors are always open for monks and nuns. So like that, if there is a huge tree which is very useful for the the many birds to eat fruits and also live there to get the shade, or to use the tree for their living or whatever, and this tree would be a very useful one for them. In the same way, the lay person who is having saddha is also the same. Now, likewise, the virtuous man with faith, gentleness. Yeah, one quality that we can see within him is gentleness and congenial associates. And he is actually congenial. That means he is a very soft person. And having pleasant talks, and good character, and especially this humble character and all that. And also associate arahantas, or today monks, arahantas or monks. who are free from greed, hatred and delusions. Right? Actually, Arahants are free from greed, hatred and delusions. This man, this virtuous, faithful man who is very gentle and congenial, actually, he associates. So you may understand, as a Buddhist, if you are really a true Buddhist, so you are very gentle and very soft and have a beautiful character, right? And then in return, what the monks do, they teach him the Dhamma. So the monks teach the Dhamma for him or them. Having heard the Dhamma, he attains enlightenment by cutting down all the defilements within this very life. So if he is a rigorous practitioner, faithful practitioner, and if he is a true practitioner, and within this very life itself, he can attain nirvana. Actually, he can realize the Dhamma because the monks are guiding him. Arahants are guiding him. They teach him. So he can follow the Dhamma correctly, properly, in the right way. And as a result of his true practice, he can attain enlightenment as well. So this is the, teaching of this Saddhā Sutta. Very small sutta, but it is very important. Now you can understand that how Saddha is important for us as Buddhists. Right? Whenever in Sri Lanka, whenever the monks address the people during a Dhamma talk or any kind of other talk, we always use the word Shraddhavanta Pinvatuni. Shraddhavanta Pinvatuni in Sinhalese. That means dear devoted people. Dear devoted people or dear devotees in Sinhalese. Here in Singapore, for instance, whenever we address the people, most of the time we say, dear devotees. Why we use this term? Because you have sattā, you have faith, conviction, confidence in the Triple Gem. So you look, for us, or you appear to us as very devoted people. So we, address you, dear devoted friends or dear devotees. In general, we say, dear devotees. So this is a very important thing, and it is a practice coming down from the time of the Buddha. Now we will go to the next slide. All right, the place Saddha gets in Buddhism. Now I will explain to you how Saddha is important in Buddhism and the place it gets in Buddhism, right? Let me check the time first. Yes. Oh, now we have limited time. All right. Buddhism as a religion gives freedom for its followers to think and investigate into it. The Buddha was a unique teacher in the history of world's religions because he asked his disciples to investigate about him, whether he really possessed the qualities to be respected as the Buddha or the Supreme Enlightened One. Right? This is very, very, very important. There is one sutta which is called Vimamsaka Sutta. In the Vimamsaka Sutta, actually, the Buddha explained that the devotees or the followers, they should examine, observe whether the Buddha is worthy to be respected as the Buddha. and also to place faith in him. So this is very important. And it is a very important teaching in the Buddhism. Maybe in the most of the religions, sometimes we cannot find this one. And Buddha asked his followers, investigate in him first before you follow the Buddha. So, as we stated about, Saddha is very important and essential factor in Buddhist path of liberation. Certainly, it is not a factor included in the Noble Eightfold Path. But before one follows the Buddhist paths, he or she must have confidence in the triple gem. Therefore, we can say that Saddha is an initial status or preliminary factor which leads to the path of liberation. So we discussed about this earlier as well. So this is a very important thing actually. Saddha, though it is not found as a factor of the Noble Eightfold Paths, it is very important thing, right? Sorry. Yes, it brings serenity or purity for the mind, especially as a result of firm saddha or confidence. One can receive or subside the hindrances we call pancha nivarana, especially sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, and restlessness, and the doubt. So these are the 5 hindrances. And when you have faith in the triple gem, actually as a result of that, you can reduce or subside, right, these 5 hindrances: sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and doubt. The 5 hindrances are, obstacles which cover the way to nirvana. So therefore, definitely, Saddha will help you to reduce your hindrances. Now, we will say, according to the Chanki Sutta, Saddha plays a prominent role. Saddha plays a prominent role as the leading factor on the path to liberation. So this one actually last week I already explained to you related to the question asked by Brother Melvin. So actually whenever you have Saddha and you feel to go to the temple and you feel to associate the Sangha, in the past the Buddha, and pay your attention to them, and also you learn the Dhamma and then you delight on, this is how the Buddha had explained about Saddha, and the one who is having Saddha, comes to Buddhism and practices the Dhamma and attains enlightenment. So, next one we will say, in many suttas, we find a special phrase which is read as follows: Saddha agarasma anagaryam pabbajati. Right? In the sutta it said pabbaji. That means already, entered the Buddhist monastic order. So this is very important. Last time also I explained to you that if someone has Saddha, actually it leads him even to get the ordination. So if you have Saddha, definitely one day if you want to become a monk, and it will bring for you to this kind of very special, great decision, right? So it's which means living, having gone from home to homelessness with Saddha, he enters the Sasana or the order of monks. So it shows that because of Saddha, one can become a monk, right? So one day you will, have this thought, maybe not in this life, maybe in the next life, right? Saddha is like a raft. This is very important. When we look at the Alavaka Sutta, actually it explains that Saddha is like a raft. Saddhaya tarati olha. Actually, we are in the samsaric ocean or the strong water current. We are there. And so Saddha will help you like a raft to cross the water, the ocean of samsara, right? Ocean of samsara. I will go to the next slide. And in the Alavaka Sutta, again, it teaches that actually Saddha is a wealth. You know, we have wealth, material wealth, right? At the same time, Buddha taught that we must have spiritual wealth as well. Spiritual wealth. Because spiritual wealths are very important. If you have only the material wealth and you are not following the Dhamma properly, and you must have spiritual wealth as well. So here, Buddha taught that Saddha is a special wealth or spiritual wealth for you, right? And Saddha Dana, right? It's called Saddha Dana. In the sutta, it's called Saddhida Vitta, Purisassa Setta. The Saddha is the most important wealth for a person. Saddha is the most important wealth for a person. Now you understand, we have a lot of material wealth, but at the same time, Saddha is one of the most important spiritual wealth that you will have. Among the 7 noble treasures, Saddha comes as the first. You know, we should have 7 noble treasures, right? Among these 7 noble treasures, Saddha comes first, right? It's called Saddha Dana, Sila Dana, Sutta Dana, Chāga Dana, Panya Dana, and Hiri and Ottaka. These are the 7, the wealth that we must have. So, as a special quality which help people to have happy rebirth as well. This idea I explained to you last week related to the Mahanama Sutta. Once, the Mahanama, the Sakya, he came to the Buddha and asked the question, Venerable Sir, we are following the Dhamma, we have faith in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, but we are very busy. And, even after visiting the temple, after listening to the Buddha or the Sangha, whenever we are leaving to the city, to our own job, and sometimes we will face some kind of accident, or we will face, since we are attending, various works or whatever, like, controlling the horses or elephants or the carts, bullock carts or whatever, it is not easy to deal with those things or these animals. So in case, if we face an accident and die, at that time, we may not able to, keep the faith in the triple death, because of pain or whatever. And then what would happen to us? Then the Buddha said that, Mahanama, you should not be worried about this because you have practiced good qualities first. What are these qualities? Buddha mentioned about 5 qualities here. Saddha, Sila, Sutta, Chāga, and Panya. Sutta means the learning the Dhamma, and also Chāga means the generosity. Panya means you already know, wisdom. Sila means the virtue. So, if you have these good qualities, faith, virtues, learning the Dhamma, and also generosity and wisdom. You no need to worry about anything. Within your lifetime, you have practiced these, 5 qualities. And because of the power of this, the wholesome deeds that you have performed, nothing to worry. Your next birth will be a very beautiful birth. You will reborn in heaven or human world. So this is the teaching of the Buddha. Because some people think that sometime at the last moment of your, life, when you are in your deathbed or the last, the bed or whatever, if you have a bad thought, because of that bad thought, you will be reborn in the bad destiny. That's a wrong belief. Now in the Abhidharma, maybe it explained in the later time. But whenever you refer to the suttas, this is the very words of the Buddha. Buddha explained that if you have practiced those good qualities within your lifetime, so you don't need to worry whether you have a bad thought or good thought at the last moment. Of course, it is better to have a good thought at the last moment. But in case, if you lost it because of various reasons, you have done good karma a lot in the past, then this good karma's, power or their weight is very, high. It has, this kind of power, the weight karma. So definitely you will have a good birth. Unless you have not done 5 gravest bad karma, like shedding the blood of the, Buddha and the killing Arahant, mother, and so on, the 5 gravest karma. If you do not have that 5 gravest karma, definitely with the power of this good karma, you will have a happy rebirth. Right? Now, one does not fall into a bad destiny. Here it shows how important Saddha as a special Dhamma, which helps to go to a happy realm in the samsara without falling down into an awful or purgatory status like hell. Right. According to Abhidhamma, Saddha is a beautiful mental fact. I think you have learned about this in the Dhamma school, and whenever we discuss about the the beautiful mental factors, we learn Saddha as a beautiful mental factor out of these 5 beautiful mental 25 beautiful mental factors. So the beautiful mental factors we call Sobhana Chetasika. Right? These Sobhana Chetasikas appear in Sobhana Chittas, beautiful consciousness. So if you have this beautiful mental factor of Saddha, definitely you will have beautiful thoughts, right? So in the Alagatupama Sutta, the simile of the snake, the Buddha mentioned that those who have at least a little Saddha in him will go to heaven hereafter. So that is a very important thing. If you have Saddha in the Buddha, at least a very little, definitely you will have a good rebirth. Right? And whenever you refer to the 37 mental factors, there are categories within these 37 mental factors under the, these special spiritual powers and spiritual faculties. 5 spiritual faculties and 5 spiritual powers we call Pancha Indriya and Pancha Bala. Saddha comes. So Bala means the energy. Faculty means faculties we have eye, ear, nose and so on. They are very important faculties. But here Saddha, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya, these 5 qualities compared to our faculties. This is very important. For instance, if you damage our your eye, what a big loss for you. In the same way, if you damage Saddha, if you lose Saddha, definitely it will damage on your spiritual paths. Understand? So that is why we have to develop. And you know, the power, the physical power, the strength is very important for us. In the same way, sattā is a, spiritual power for us to follow the Dhamma without falling down on the way. Understand? I don't explain much about this now because of time. Then we go to the next. So, but saddha alone is not sufficient to realize the truth. That is why the Buddha advised Bhikkhu Vaktali to go away from him without just looking at the Buddha. You know the story, so I'm not going to explain that. The story tells us saddha must be used as an instrument to practice the Dhamma, and both saddha and panya should go together or should exist side by side. Saddha can purify impure mind to pure mind. So that is why saddha is very important, but at the same time your panya also must be there. So parallelly, saddha and panya, right? Confidence and wisdom should go together in order to realize the Dhamma. Right. So there are 2 followers among the 7 followers of the Dhamma. They are called Saddhanusari and Saddhavimutta, the follower of the Dhamma with confidence and the one who prays through Saddha. Because among the people who follow the Dhamma, there is one person. He is called Saddhanusari, the one who has more faith in the triple. Right? Among the the people, the devotees of the Ti-Sarana Buddhist Association, you may recognize or understand the people who have more faith in the triple way, right? More faith in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So they are called Saddhanusari. So I, wish and I want all of you to become Saddhanusari, right? And there is another person who is called Dhammanusari, the person who is much, forward, much towards the Dhamma. But Saddhanusari is a very important factor here. Saddha Vimutta means the person who frees through Saddha. That means Saddha alone one may not attain Nirvana. With the Saddha and then with his more Saddha he can attain Nirvana as well. So he is called Saddha Vimutta. So therefore, last slide. So therefore, Saddha, not on, so I think something is wrong here in the slide. Yeah, I will delete that one. Therefore, not only Saddha purify the mind, but it can free the mind from impurities as well, right? So, not only Saddha purifies the mind, it should be like that. Purifies. Not only Saddha purifies the mind, but it can free the mind from impurities as well. So that is why actually we have to follow Saddha, we have to practice Saddha, we have to be a person or the follower who is having more Saddha, like the person who is Saddhanusari, right? So here I will finish the talk in the same way. Today also I took almost nearly around 1 hour and 15 minutes, right? Right. So thank you very much for listening to the Dhamma talk and also participating this Dhamma session. I hope that you have learned something. So now, but the Chintaka,
Thank you so much, Bhante Chandawimala, for the very enlightening Dhamma talk on Saddha Sutta from the Anguttara Nikaya, the Book of Fives. One point that really caught my attention was, regardless, just a moment, let me maybe also share my screen. So one particular point that caught my attention was regardless of your socio-economic status in the society, if you have confidence and conviction in the Triple Gem, 5 benefits come to you. And that's very sadhu. Thank you, Bhante, for the enlightening, Dhamma talk. So perhaps, all of us can strive to be a small banyan tree day by day, and maybe someday we can be a big, huge banyan tree to the world.
Okay, very good.
And then to guide us towards the ultimate path of liberation, and that's Nibbana. Okay, so now we are in the question and answers. Okay, I need to change my screen.
Yes, if you have any question, you can ask me, and yes, I'll try to answer your questions.
Right. Okay. First question that I actually had from Sister Niroda. She asked about, there's one part, there's a slide that says, in many suttas, we find a special phrase which we read as follows, or which is read as follows: Saddha agarasma anaga yang bhabajati, which means having a jinn from home to homelessness with Saddha. He enters Sasana, or the order of the monks.
Yes.
It shows that because of the Saddha, one becomes a monk. So does it mean, what Sister Niroda wants to know is, does it mean that if we don't renounce, we don't have that kind of many Saddha as compared to one who has renounced?
Yes.
Yeah, Bhante? Yeah, you got the question?
Certain words actually I didn't get. So the question related.
Okay, the question is, do we need to renounce to say that we have more faith in the Triple Gem?
It doesn't really meant by that statement. Actually, whenever someone enters the path, actually why? Because first he believes in the Buddha and his teaching, and then he really have a special, inner transformation within himself. It is better for me if I become a monk to follow the paths. So, and then he decides to become a monk in order to follow the Dhamma and to realize the Dhamma quickly, as soon as, he can attain this nirvana within this very life. So that is the idea there. So, while living in the household life, as I explained to you last time also, with a lot of responsibilities, duties, and so on, a family, bond you have. But whenever you are free from household life, when you go from household to homelessness or homeless life, and then it is easy for you to practice the path. But it doesn't mean that your faith increases when you go to the homeless life or to become a monk. But actually within household life also you can have more faith in the Triple Gem, of course. Yeah, that is why. So actually, because whenever we refer to the early the monks or ideal, we call them ideal Sangha. The ideal Sangha in the time of the Buddha, they really entered the Buddhist path in order to stop this samsaric life or suffering. So they really had the great wish to become arahantas or to realize the Dhamma. So they, increased their faith within them and then decided to become monks. But nowadays, we give ordination even for very young boys. Of course, maybe because of their sansaric practice or whatever, from their very young age, they have this special feeling to become monks. Or, we select certain boys who would like to become monks, right? Maybe they do not have that kind of a strong faith in them, like a grown-up people, right? Because they may not have good understanding of the Dhamma or the basic things, right? But we are referring this one related to the ideal Sangha in the time of the Buddha, the pure Sangha. So they have that great faith, and because of that, they became monks. Saddhā agarasma anagaryam pabbhaji or pabbhajati. You can use the Pali term in the present tense pabbhajati, but pabbhaji is the past tense. In the sutta we find this term pabbhaji, that means became a monk. Understand? Yeah, Sister Nirodha, I think she got the answer. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante. Okay, Bhante, there's another question. That question comes from Facebook, and it is a question from Sister Shokwa. Sister Shokwa asked the question, how does one know that there is a reduction in his or her accumulation of sattā? What can that person do? I have also posted the question on the chat. So if you want to look at the question from the chat, you may do so as well.
Actually, yes, sattā is something to be developed within us day by day. That means whenever you study the Dhamma, whenever you participate with various activities and so on, you will have this serenity of your mind. That's why we say, long ago also I taught you that because after puja in Ti-Sarana, you recite the special, what you call this, statement, right? Aspiration, right? Aspiration. In that aspiration, you have certain statements, right? In that one, it says, whenever, before I came to temple, I was not like that. But now after I came to temple, I developed. Now I become more closer to the Dhamma, right? More closer to the Dhamma. That means it increases your saddha with the understanding of the Dhamma. So you must, do everything with saddha. It's not just mere faith or blind faith, with understanding how beautiful Buddha is teaching in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end, right? So what a beautiful teaching that we are having, right? We are also going to that enlightenment, right? Bodhi, we call Bodhi for the enlightenment one day. So, yeah, of course, you will feel when your faith increases within you. You will feel, you will be more closer to the Dhamma, and you will follow the paths. You will not, look for the weak points or the, whatever the others do or say or whatever, but you will focus on your practice. That is it. Yes? Is that okay?
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Okay, Bhante, there's another question, and this question comes from Facebook as well. And the question reads, how can we practice starting from having some sattā to having confirmed faith or unshakable faith?
Yes, unshakable faith, because Achala Saddha, unshakable faith. Actually, yes, if you really have unshakable faith, you will never fall down from this status, Buddhist status. Because I remember there were certain aunties of Ti-Sarana while I was there, and they lost their faith. Actually, I don't know what happened to them. Yeah, because of some people or the children or whoever's, advice, or not really because of advice, or sometimes some people, change their religion and go to another belief or whatever. And then the children would ask parents, could you please come to my one? After you pass away, then I don't know how to do all those things in yours. So better you follow my one. So because in such cases, and they just give up believing in the Buddha or the, Sadha, and then they will go to another belief. I remember sometime it happened, right? So, if you really know the Dhamma, if you look at Dhamma, if you really understand the Dhamma, if you have good understanding of the Dhamma, you will never have, this kind of shaky status of Saddha. Your Saddha will be unshaken, and you will have unshaken mind, right? It comes to us through understanding the Dhamma. We have to look into the Dhamma, we have to, know Dhamma, not of course realize at this level. You will realize it when through the practice, and at least you should know the Dhamma, you should understand the Dhamma, and then you may not lose your faith. Yes?
Thank you very much, Bhante. Bhante, we have a participant on Zoom, Brother Asoka Melvin Song. He would like to ask a question. Brother Melvin, please.
Okay. Yes. Your mic is mute, so you can,
Okay, sorry. Okay, Bhante, just to add on to what you mentioned or explained just now.
Yeah.
So is it correct for me to say that in order for us as a Buddhist to practice Sadha, it must also come with panya, that means with wisdom? Because it seems that these two must come hand in hand, then your Sadha becomes very much more stronger. Then you will not fall off from your faith in the triple gem. Because I think that is probably be what I guess is probably one of our weakness. So I just wanted to share with Bhante and how you feel about this view that I'm having, that panya also come together with Sadha.
Yeah, actually wisdom is, panya is to realize what it is, what it really is, right? So the basic thing is the Saddha. Of course, you must have Saddha, and then you know what it is, what it really is. Yeah, panya, the wisdom. Wisdom means the application of your what you learn from it, and so wisdom actually can be used. We say in the wise way, in the fruitful way, in order to practice the Dhamma, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if you go further, if you talk about the wisdom and then you look at the things with understanding, right? Impermanence and the suffering and dukkha, anicca, dukkha, anatta, and no self when you go to the highest level, right? But in the basic level, yes, of course you should understand what is true and what is not true, what is correct and what is not correct, false, what is good and what is not good.
It's 2 o'clock.
In this way, you must have this kind of initial wisdom to follow the Dhamma. So, yeah, these two will go together. Because in Buddhism we don't say sattā is just a baseless one. It is based on wisdom as well. Right? Wisdom as well. And there are certain stories also in, given in the talks. Sometimes you may have more faith but with less wisdom. And but it's related to various different, characters of the people. But really, here you have to, in the Saddhā Sutta, you remember Saddhā Sutta, Buddha mentioned that Ime Dhamma Savajja, Ime Dhamma Anavajja, Vinyu Vyavahita Pasansita. These things are wrong. These things are correct. These things have been rejected by the wise people. These things have been praised by the wise people. So, then what you have to follow, correct things, and also the things have been praised or, advocated to practice by the wise people like Buddha or any kind of person who shows us the correct paths. So that is wisdom. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for your question. All right.
Okay, thank you very much, Brother Asoka, and also thank you very much, Bhante, for answering all of the questions. There's a chat that comes in. May I know where is the sutta that talks about the two kinds of
Okay. Another question.
Yeah, there's one question. Bhante, I'm going to post it on the chat also.
Okay.
This question comes from Sister Annie Chua from Facebook. She's asking, where can we find the two kinds of the followers, Sadhanusari and Saddha Vimutta? I think she wants to know where to find the sutta.
Yes, it is found in the Majjhima Nikaya. There is a sutta. Now it doesn't come to my mind. It is, of course, definitely it is. In that sutta, Buddha mentioned about the 7 types of people. Out of these 7 types of followers, and Saddhanusari and Saddha Vimutta, and the other one I just mentioned, Dhammanusari, actually all of them coming under that category. Yes, it is in the Majjhima Nikaya, in the middle and discourses, the Buddha taught that one. So I will send you that the name of the sutta, because it doesn't come to my mind now. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. I think we are almost time already. So before we end the session, so traditionally what happened is we will do transference of merits to all celestial beings. So may we have Bhante to lead us on this transference of merit, please, Bhante?
Okay. Now at this moment, before we transfer the merit for the divine beings, we will transfer this merit to the departed relatives. May all the departed relatives, including Bhante Jnana Brahma, rejoice in this merit. May they get all the spiritual benefits for their samsaric journey. May the departed relatives attain the ultimate bliss of Nirvana. Say Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu.
Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu.
And now this is the time to transfer merit for the departed relatives. Yes, now we will recite this special stanzas to transfer merit for the divine beings. Akasattha Jagummattā Devānaga Mahindika Punyantam Anumoditva Chiranrapam Tulokasasanam Akasattha Jagummattā Devānaga Mahindika Punyantam Anumoditva Chiranrapam Tudesanam Akasattha Jagummattā Devānaga Mahindika Punyantam Anumoditva Chiranrapam Tumam Param. Okay, may all the divine beings rejoice in this merit. May they shower upon blessings towards you, your family members, and so on. May the divine beings attain the ultimate bliss of nirvana. Say Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Bhante.
You have accumulated today. May you be blessed with good health, happiness, longevity, and prosperity. Whatever you wish and aspire, may all your good wishes and aspirations come true. May all of you attain the ultimate bliss of nirvana. Say Sadhu.
Sadhu,
Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you,
Chandawimala.
Bhante.
Thank you,
Thank you,
brothers and sisters in
Bhante.
the Dhamma.
Thank you, brothers,
Thank you,
sisters,
Bhante.
for organizing.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. How to off law? Just leave 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 meeting